all the
plan change can come.
All the council-owned places that have been added to the schedule were presented to a committee some months before the evidence, and they had to get council approval to go ahead as landowner. So that the panel has said if the landowner doesn't agree, it has reservations about scheduling. All the council-owned ones, the council agreed to scheduling. So we checked all that out with Panuku and Auckland Transport and the like.
Okay. Ross?
I wasn't aware there was a great call for the Civic Administration building. That would just be such a travesty. Our first skyscraper. Yeah. Why would we remove that?
No.
Well, I heard the Mayor say you wanted to park it aside.
No, not parking it aside at all. I heard a bit of noise on this side.
I just want to ask a question, Mr. Chairman. I don't need someone else butting in on it.
Should be all right. So it's a question being asked.
Question, thank you.
Councillor Linda.
So, what I want to know is, given that we own that building and we're struggling to either do anything with it at the moment, and it sits there empty, an asset not returning anything and deteriorating before our very eyes, is this going to make it much more difficult for us to do anything with that building? That's my real concern. This is just, I'm very concerned about that. It's been sitting there for nearly 2 years now. Yep. And we've still not decided, because we're umming and ahhing and we're wasting a lot of money, wasting an opportunity, potential. There's a whole lot of good benefits we could get out of doing something decent with this. Will this hold us back?
Through the chair, no, it won't. The Panuku development, who are going through the process of looking at the future of the Civic Admin building, have been well aware of this process. My staff have been in that process and advising them what they can't do, no matter what happens from the IHP's process, and this outcome doesn't change that.
Well, I guess my question is, how much more money is it going to cost the ratepayers if it's scheduled to actually have anything good happen to it? That's really the bottom line here. Is it going to add cost?
Well, I think that's an impossible question for me to add, but what I will say is that this adds the cost of any other scheduled building.
So yes, it will cost more. Thank you.
Okay, so you can vote accordingly. Councillor Kemp.
Well, just on similar lines, Mr. Mayor, on Queen's Wharf, the debates around over-commercialisation or partial privatisation have been well traversed, Noel, but in the future, scheduling Queen's Wharf, will that make it more difficult for the council and potentially more expensive for council to develop or realign its ferry amenity and ferry facilities?
All those issues, as I understand it, were canvassed at the hearing, and the panels come to the conclusion that the operation of the wharf can continue and the future development. This doesn't prohibit things from happening. Or what is required is resource consent approval for things to happen.
Need to do it anyhow if it's Queen's Wharf. Okay, councillors, so I will put all of those with the exception of Simon Street Flats, which I'll put separately. So it's been moved and seconded. All those.
Civic administration.
Sorry, I thought you were putting the Rainbow Warrior site separately as well.
No, I'm not.
No.
So is there be no ask for that?
Can I just, I would like to ask a question on that then. Yep. Because the narrative in the recommendations is very, very brief on that, extremely brief. It's noted, the location is noted as Marsden Wharf, and I understand that part of Marsden Wharf is changed dramatically, or has it been demolished in part? Is that correct, Noel?
And there's been changes to the seabed, as I understand it.
And the point I'd like to make here is the place remains. The place of the first terrorist attack by another nation in New Zealand has not changed. The place remains. And I struggle with removing that. And I hear Councillor Lee's concern there. This is a very significant part of our history. And it was about the place. It was on the water. It was a ship floating on our waters above the seabed. And it landed on the seabed. So how do you protect that event?
Well,
And
the
look,
place
I'd
is
like
still
to-
going to be there.
So from a heritage perspective, I don't think you protect the event.
No.
Well, the record of that event.
So you can do, as I said, you can do that by a number of ways. Scheduling is only one method and probably the least suited for that. I mean, the women's suffragette is a classic example of that issue, where it could be managed and protected. Scheduling was just the byproduct of that.
All right. Okay, look, councillors, we will put those lists with separate votes on the Simon Street Flats, the Civic event, Civic Centre and Rainbow Warrior bomb site. Okay, it'll be simple. So we'll put the substantive motion, it's been moved and seconded, all those in favour say aye. Aye. Against passed. Now we'll deal specifically with the issue of Civic Administration Building, that it not be scheduled. Who wants to move that?
No.
Callum, and second, Linda. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
No. Against?
By division.
On the voices?
May I speak?
Bill
No.
lost.
Right, put it.
Division?
We've had so much debate on this, we're just going to put it.
We have.
Yeah.
Everyone knows where their position is on this.
Civic soul of Auckland.
Yep.
So it's not issued.
Retention of Simon Street
Right,
Flats.
we are moving to place it in the schedule, okay? So
So what's the
This is
vote?
to place it in the schedule?
add it to the schedule. It's been, as per the recommendation.
So the recommendation
The
is to
recommendation will be to add it to the schedule,
Yes.
right?
That's what we want.
Right?
schedule- wait, hang on.
So it's moved
Not to be added.
that it's added to the schedule.
Oh, sorry.
I'm
It'll be-
moving to
it'll
add
be
it to the
delete
schedule.
it from,
Actually, sorry, it's in the schedule.
It's already in the
From
schedule now.
the recommendation here would be to delete it from,
Yes, thank you.
and so that would be against the IHB's ruling.
Yes.
We'd have to reject it. Yep. Okay.
So point of order, we have voted on that. and
No, we haven't.
voted
No, I have
on the
said
Civic
there.
Administration Building.
No, I said that we would leave the Civic Administration, Rainbow Warrior and Simon Street for separate votes.
Just moved.
So, hang on, so we in effect will reject each of what is proposed. Right? So, I've got a mover and a seconder for the Civic Building to reject what is proposed. What is proposed is that it actually is added to the schedule.
This will be by division.
The recommendation will be to reject that.
Based on what
By
evidence?
division,
I know that, that's what we're doing, come on.
Based on what evidence?
Well, ready?
They aren't.
Councillors, you're voting on whether to reject
The
the
scheduling,
removal of the Civic Administration Building from the schedule. Your Worship,
against.
Councillor Anai.
Aye.
Councillor Brewer.
Or
Councillor Casey.
No.
Councillor Cashmore.
For.
Councillor Clow.
no.
Councillor Cooper.
For,
Should we have to interrupt it, the reading of the recommendations?
and I was for.
Why not? Stop.
Delete. To include it. Yeah. To panels wanting it included. To add it. That's better. Oh, yeah.
Yep. So, the wording wasn't right, but what you're trying to do is,
Same.
is, right.
the wording inadequate.
Very welcome.
So we got that,
Okay, so we've
Carry
changed
on.
the wording, so we'll start again.
No.
Your Worship,
Against.
Councillor Anai. Aye. Councillor Brewer.
Or
Councillor Casey.
Oh,
Councillor Cashmore.
Or.
Councillor Clow.
No.
Councillor Cooper.
for,
Councillor Darby.
Against.
Councillor Fletcher.
no.
Deputy Mayor Hulse.
No.
Councillor Crum.
Or
Councillor Lee.
No.
Councillor Penrose.
For.
Councillor Quacks.
Against.
Councillor Stewart.
Good on you, Dick.
Shh, carry on, please. Councillor Sharon?
It's your old office, Chris.
Okay.
It's your old office.
And Councillor Quacks. That was against.
Yes.
Councillor Sir John Walker.
Yes.
Councillor Wayne Walker.
Against.
Yeah, it was
Councillor Watson.
No.
Councillor Webster.
Yes.
Councillor Wood.
Yes.
Okay, put in the next one.
Procedural question.
Yes.
We're required to give reasons. There was not a single reason given for that motion to reject it.
It's okay. What it does is now,
It's
it's order, order.
Cost reasons.
You have,
And there was no debate.
at the start of this discussion, I talked about the fact that if there are any issues whereby a bit further work needs to be done to formalise the advice against a recommendation, then we will do that, and we'll do that overnight. So basically, we'll give technical advice behind that. The fact that we've had bountiful and thousands of arguments and debates should provide us with plenty of information. Right, we're going to separately do the Rainbow Warrior bombing site. Places deleted from the schedule. We're asking that that place be retained in the schedule. All right? So that is what the recommendation will be, that we retain scheduling for the Rainbow Warrior bomb site.
Much better ways of doing it.
Right? Well done. We got that?
I'm just getting the words up there.
I was nearly on.
Do you want to...
Retain it.
Vision.
Okay.
Need a bit of explanation.
Happy with the words?
Have we got the wording right?
So could we seek just a little bit more clarification, Mr Mayor?
Yes?
The Rainbow Warrior site is effectively the seabed. So I certainly want to do something to, recognise and protect the area on the wharf, but we can't protect the seabed. And my understanding there's already been dredging done from the original site. So, it's not as it was before, where the boat settled and where the person was killed, drowned. And so,
Okay.
so
There you go.
That's what Noel's been trying to say.
Just a minute. We just have a request for a little bit more information, and then we will vote.
So I was just agreeing with Councillor Clay, and I think that's the issue that Councillor Lee was indicating the ARC had trouble with, is what were you actually scheduling?
Okay,
There's other ways of doing it.
so councillors, we will do this by way of a division.
Okay, so a division on whether to reject the recommendation of the panel to delete the Rainbow Warrior bombing site from the schedule. Your Worship.
Against.
Councillor and I.
Against.
Councillor Brewer.
Against.
Councillor Casey.
This is rejecting the recommendation to delete it.
Yep.
So if I say yes, then I'm protecting it.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Councillor Cashmore.
No.
Councillor Clow.
no.
Councillor Cooper.
No.
Councillor Darby.
4.
Councillor Philippina. Oh, no,
Not
sorry,
here.
he's not here. Councillor Fletcher.
No.
Deputy Mayor Hulse.
No.
Councillor Crum.
Against?
Councillor Lee.
Aye.
Councillor Penrose.
No.
Councillor Quacks.
No.
Councillor Stewart.
No.
Councillor Sir John Walker. No. Councillor Wayne Walker.
4.
Councillor Watson.
Yes.
Councillor Webster.
No.
Councillor Wood.
No.
Other ways.
Okay, that's lost. And lastly, I want to just very briefly put the Simon Street flats. So,
This is
so if you want to hold the Simon Street flat,
Criticise Housing New Zealand.
you will reject the panel's recommendation. Any last comment from you, Noel?
No,
No,
Mr
good.
Chairman.
Now, have we got a mover and a seconder here?
Yep.
Mover and a seconder? Councillor Cathy and Councillor
Getting
Mike.
confusing.
I know, it's the back to front, but there's no other way of putting it.
I'm moving that.
Mr Mayor, can I just add something? I do note
Mr Reardon did say that of all those deletions, that was the one that surprised the heritage experts, and I think we're all surprised at it, so I just want to make that point.
Okay, I think your point is well made. And so, now, do you want to do this by our division, or can we just do it on the voices?
Voice.
Voices, come on, you guys. Okay, all those in favour, say aye. Aye. Against?
No.
Just one of the voices.
Yeah.
Rightio. Okay, councillors, a good start to the process. We're about 5/8 of the way through. So we will now have a break for 10 minutes.
As usual.
Pit stop.